Did you catch that? The Christian life is an ongoing transformation. It's the Christian's evolution, where we are leaving behind old appendages and parts that come from the world and serve the world, and we are leaving those behind, and we are evolving from a worldly species into a righteous Christ-like species, and we're leaving behind those parts that came from and serve the world, and we're growing in Christ new parts in order to serve Christ and to live for Him. Sanctification, transformation. Leaving that species behind and going forward and growing ever increasingly into this new species of Christ. One of the things that I find that I need to do when we do our laundry is got to iron my clothes. Who irons their clothes? Anybody? Yeah? I forget sometimes, like the clothes will be in the dryer on a Sunday morning. I'm like, oh man, my pants, they got to be ironed. So you whip out the ironing board and you're ironing those out. Listen, the Christian life, sanctification, is like ironing out the wrinkles in clean clothing. See, you're clean. Jesus said in John 15:3 that you have been made clean by the word that I spoke to. You're clean. But your life from that point on, where you are going to live increasingly for the glory of Jesus Christ, is one by where it's going to include ironing out wrinkles. Because your position has been totally changed, you've been totally recategorized, but your day-to-day practice has not. That is what begins to change the moment you come to Christ. And you begin this new life. It's like you've been pulled out of the dryer, right? And you're warm, right, with the love and the joy that you've just discovered in Christ, and you're like, wow, this is fantastic. I'm new. Everything behind me has just been washed away. But you also begin that life all like crinkled up with a bunch of wrinkles, and the rest of your life is going to be getting those wrinkles smoothed out. Ephesians, you don't have to turn there with me, but Ephesians chapter 5 touches on this, speaking of husbands and wives. It says that a husband's supposed to love his wife the way Christ loves the church. And then Paul, whenever he mentions Christ in his talking, he's got to digress and talk more about Christ. He loves Christ. Verse 26, Christ gave himself up for her to make her, that is the church, holy. Christ made the church holy. Watch this. Cleansing her by the washing with the water through the word. Clean, right? Clean. And to present her to himself as a radiant church. That's in the future. When the church is gathered up to him and stands before him. Now watch what he says. To present her to himself as a radiant church, verse 27, without stain or wrinkle or any other blemish, but holy and blameless. The Christian life is one where we are daily, for years on end, having the wrinkles ironed out in our life. This is the idea of our personal sanctification.